Okay, homework checker for tonight. Which fractions are equivalent to 8/12? So you've had a question like this on every homework so far, and I've given you a variety of strategies to use. So I want you to think about those strategies. One of them is cross multiplication. One of them is just thinking what that number is closest to, 0, 1/2, or 1/2. Another strategy is using your multiplication chart. Another strategy is reducing or simplifying these fractions to see if they're equivalent. So I'm going to use my multiplication chart. I'm going to find 8/12. Okay, 8/12 is on here. And I have to see which of these are equivalent to it. So 2/3. Let's find 8/12. Let's reduce it all the way down. It reduces to 2/3, which means they're equivalent. I can cross multiply just to check and see. 12 times 2 is 24. 8 times 3 is also 24. There you go. 16/20. Let me find 8/12 and see if I can find 16/20. I find 16/24, which is not 16/20. So B is not simplified to 8/12 or equivalent to 8/12. C, 2/8. Let's find 8/12. Reduce it down, see if we can find 2/8. Nope. If we reduce 2/8, we divide it by 2 over 2, we get 1/4. 10/15. Here's 8/12. Oh look, 10/15. It's on that same row, which means it's equivalent. If I were to cross multiply 8/12 and 10/15, some bigger numbers here, but if I do 10 times 12, I just multiply 12 with a 0 behind it, 120. 15 times 8. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 1 is 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. They both equal 120. And that's equivalent as well. Alright, complete the pattern below. Which fraction comes next? So let's look at these fractions. We have our benchmark fractions here. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. Then we have 1 and 1/4, 1 and 2/4. So I know I'm going to have a whole number that comes next, but now I just have to look at the patterns. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. 1/4, 2/4, 1 and 3/4 comes next. Alright, what is the GCF that could be used to simplify 7/14? So, GCF means greatest common factor. We could use a factor tree to figure that out. Or you can use your multiplication chart. Both of them work. I'll show you how to do it. So for 7, we list our factors for 7. 1 and 7, and that's it. 14, 1 and 14, 2 and 7. GCF, 7. If I find 7/14s on my multiplication chart, if you notice the number up top is our GCF. The GCF is 7. So, 7/14s, the GCF is 7. If we reduce it all the way, we get 1/2. Because 7 is half of 14, which you probably already knew. Next question, which fraction is reduced / simplified from 6/8? Meaning we have to reduce and see if any of these are equivalent to 6/8, or we just reduce 6/8. So let's start there. To reduce it, we find the GCF. So factors of 6, 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Factors of 8, 1 and 8, 2 and 4. That's it. GCF, 2. So we take 6 over 8 divided by 2 over 2. 6 divided by 2, 3. Remember, your answer is kind of just right here on the other side. 8 divided by 2, right here, 4. So it reduces to 3/4. So let's use our multiplication chart to check as well. You have 6/8. You reduce it all the way down, 3/4. So when we divide by 2 over 2, we get 3/4. All right, number 1. Who is known as the father of the Bill of Rights? Remember, his last name will match up with that. He wrote the Virginia Declaration of Rights, which was put in the Bill of Rights. That's why he's known as the father of the Bill of Rights. Who is known as the father of the Constitution? He wrote the Constitution and has a college in Virginia named after him. Number 3, who is known as the father of our country? That one we should all know because we've been studying him since kindergarten. Who wrote the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom and the Declaration of Independence? He's a good old Virginia boy, wrote a lot of documents. Hopefully you know that.